Barry's Arduç is hunting for a heartbeat he can call his own, and the internet is losing its mind. Welcome to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Before we dive into the whirlwind, make sure you subscribe and keep those notifications on so you don't miss a single twist. Hello, dear viewers, today's saga rattled timelines and split fandoms into camps. Whispers say that Barry's Arduç and his longtime partner, Elçin Sangu, have quietly gone their separate ways. Is this the truth, or just the latest mirage conjured by social media and glossy headlines? Let's walk through every clue, every sign, and every carefully chosen word. The headline that set everything off was simple, almost cruelly so: the man everyone associates with smoldering eyes and unshakable leads is supposedly searching for real love. But behind that neat phrase lies a storm. Over the last few weeks, no actor has dominated talk shows, fan forums, and entertainment threads quite like Barry's. He's been straddling a major career moment and a deeply personal question mark. The buzz around the upcoming premiere of Sangu ignited curiosity about his private life, and then the chatter leaped into something more, a supposed end to his storybook connection with Elçin. Let's rewind. From the first moments that Barış and Elçin allowed the public a glimpse of their closeness, fans branded them a fairy tale. Their chemistry, at work and beyond, felt effortless. Of course, there were doubters from day one. Some pointed to Barış's past and wondered if he'd commit with the same weight this time. Others believed the two were unfolding a steady, mature love. As their photos and playful captions stacked up online, every glance, every detail, every silence turned into fuel for theories. Supporters cheered, critics peered at the seams. With time, the noise only grew louder. People remembered that whenever Barış was linked romantically in the past, there were always murmurs of proposals and forever promises. That narrative brought out harsher commentators this round, directing their barbs at Elçin for everything from her professional choices to her demeanor. The attacks were irrational, unkind, and relentless. Through it all, Barış pushed back in subtle ways, praising her work, showing up when it mattered, and refusing to feed the ugliest takes. Even so, a darker corner of the internet began psychoanalyzing him, spiraling into armchair assessments of his mental health. It was invasive and absurd. Yet attention brings surveillance, and soon their relationship became a public experiment, the kind where strangers think they're entitled to meddle. Their every post drew a wave of prying comments. Their love story, so intimate at its core, became a battleground for speculation. Then came the first flickers that something might be wrong. Watchful fans noticed that the couple's interactions on Instagram shifted. Someone claimed the mutual following disappeared. That alone would have been enough to send timelines buzzing, but it didn't stop there. A line appeared on Elçin's stories, not a selfie, not a teaser, but a sentence with the sharpness of honesty, a promise to stop neglecting her own needs, to stop shrinking, to treat herself with the same care she gives others. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't cruel. It was self-respect wrapped in clean words, the kind that pulse long after the screen goes dark. Was it a breakup note? Half of social media said yes, the other half called it a personal pledge with nothing to do with romance. But the timing, paired with the whispers of unfollows, inflamed theories. Suddenly everyone became a detective, tracking timestamps and captions, zooming in on absences. And then, a new turn. On the eve of the Sangu premiere, Barış sat down with Mara Venier. It should have been a victory lap, a moment to talk craft and story and the work that had him in the headlines. Instead, when the conversation brushed against his love life, his posture changed. He smiled, then sidestepped. He answered without answering. It left fans wondering, was he protecting something private, or was he trying to say everything without saying anything at all? Cue a headline from Diva Idana. They pushed a report that hit like thunder, that the actor had ended things with Elçin and was now intent on finding something authentic. The phrasing ricocheted across feeds. I ended it with Elçin, I'm chasing a love that's honest, and the story exploded. But there was a catch, an important one. Those words didn't come from a verified statement from Barış himself. The echo was loud, but the source wasn't his voice. Their quiet online behavior, however, did little to dampen the storm. The couple shots paused. Captions that used to carry little winks fell away. And then, a practical move became tabloid proof. Barış relocated to Spain to work on the Butterfly Labyrinth, a demanding production with long days and longer nights. With the physical distance, the rumor mill cranked harder. Meanwhile, Elçin stepped back from the apps entirely. Her account went dark, not as a headline grab, but as a shield from the constant commentary. That silence, to observers desperate for conclusions, looked like confirmation. Fans reacted in split screens of emotion. Some rallied behind Barış, preaching patience and privacy. Others shook their heads, posting again, as if love could be reduced to patterns and clichés. The press circled, hungry for a definitive answer that neither of them was ready to give. The old question reappeared with new force: how do you balance a global career with the sacred chaos of a relationship? The Sandokan buzz thrust Barış into a high-intensity stretch where every public moment carried extra weight. The very success that he'd fought for now amplified the pressure on his heart. So, is he truly searching for new love? That's the line diva Idana amplified, and that's the question the internet can't stop asking. The honest answer is that nobody outside their circle knows. What the whispers do suggest is a pivot, a desire to redraw the map, to leave behind any chapter that no longer fits, and to find something that feels unshakably real. Why might this have happened? The theories are familiar. One says their calendars pulled them apart, different sets, different time zones, different cities turning dinner plans into rare gifts. Another says the suffocating chorus of public judgment wears down even the strongest devotion. And for those who track the narrative arcs around Barış, there's talk of a pattern: when the conversation turns to rings and vows, turmoil often follows. It's a storyline fans know too well, whether it's true or just a recycled myth. As the days pass, the discourse mutates. New threads pop up hourly. Some wonder if Barış will appear with someone unexpected, testing the waters of a brand new beginning. Others are sure this is just a quiet chapter, not the final page. Through it all, Elçin's silence holds. She remains offline, and that choice draws even more attention, ironic, but predictable. Some insiders hint that she stepped back to keep her soul intact, to let the loudest voices burn themselves out without dragging her into the center of the blaze. Set aside the personal drama for a second, and you'll see a professional crest that can't be ignored. Sandokan marks a turning point, a bigger canvas, a wider audience, stakes that come with global reach. It's the kind of moment an actor dreams about. But growth asks for sacrifices, and in interviews and posts, careful watchers notice that Barış now chooses his words more gently, avoids bait, and keeps his private life behind a door he no longer cracks open. The lesson is written between the lines: fame has its own weather, and you learn to bring an umbrella even on clear days. Fans are clashing in familiar ways. Some say, let him find a love that fits. Others replay old clips, highlighting the laughter, the shared glances, the seventh sense timing that once seemed unbreakable. Memes surface. Throwback photos circulate. Twitter, Instagram, they morph into scrapbooks of what once was, or might still be, depending on who's telling the story. This is the age of the archive. Nothing really vanishes, and everything becomes a clue. What's next? Officially, nothing has been declared. No public statement, no neat bow, no headline that both agree on. Yet the signs ask hard questions. The absence of joined images. The shift in tone. The physical distance brought by the Butterfly Labyrinth. The cryptic line about putting oneself first. The sidestep on Mara Venier's couch before the shimmer of the Sandokan premiere. It forms a pattern, even if it's not a confession. And in the coming days, it's likely that one or both will speak more clearly, not because the internet demands it, but because clarity sometimes brings peace. One more question lingers like perfume at the end of a party. Is this pursuit of true love a sincere commitment to start fresh, or another fantasy we project onto people we only know through screens and scenes? Perhaps it's both, a real human yearning filtered through the easy machinery of myth. Here's what remains grounded in reality. As of now, there's no signed, sealed announcement. Speculation, breadcrumbs, and tabloid headlines build the current narrative, and it's a flimsy house, even when the pieces seem to fit. The suggestion that Barış is now actively looking for something deeper points to a new season, professional fireworks and all. But silence, too, is a language, theirs, at least for now. And silence has a way of letting the dust settle so that the truth can be seen without all the fog machines and flashbulbs. So, dear viewers, it appears that the chapter titled Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu may be closing, or it may be simply turning into something private, away from the chorus and the clamor. Until they speak, we're left with signs, not verdicts. Do you believe Barış is ready to open the door to a new love? Drop your thoughts below. If today's deep dive gripped you, hit like, subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets, and tap that bell. We'll be here to track every reveal, every denial, and every tender detail as the story continues to unfold. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep your eyes on the spotlight.